Hello, my name is Jaap van der Wal. I am an anatomist and embryologist, and I've been involved in fascia research for many years. So it's an honor to introduce this fascia-focused dissection course, guided by my colleague John Sharkey, whom I regard as a committed ally in rethinking anatomy. You are now in Italy, where modern anatomy began, with pioneers like Andreas Vesalius. Their work gave us extraordinary insight into the structure of the human body. Yet, it also established a dominant paradigm, and that is the idea that the body is constructed from parts, like a machine. This building block view or doctrine has shaped anatomy ever since. But it is incomplete. In my view, it's even a half-truth. Over time, I came to realize that anatomy must evolve, not by rejecting its foundations, but by restoring what has been lost: continuity, coherence, and above all, wholeness. This is where fascia becomes essential. Fascia challenges the idea of separateness. It speaks instead of connection, continuity, and a living architecture that cannot be reduced to isolated parts. When John speaks of a 21st century anatomy, he is pointing toward this shift in perception. What is needed now is not simply more detail, but new eyes, an ability to see the body as a continuous, dynamic whole. My own work has always been shaped by a tension between classical anatomy and embryology. I learned, however, to bridge between those two domains. On my right, anatomy teaches us that the body is made of parts. On my left, the embryo is telling quite a different story, that the parts arise from the whole. We begin as a single, unified organism, and throughout life, we remain a whole in continuous transformation. Not a machine, but a process, a being in time. In biology, this is described as autopoiesis, the capacity of a living system to create and sustain itself. The human body is not assembled. As John has stated, it is continuously becoming. From this perspective, fascia can be understood not merely as connective tissue, but as a pervasive matrix, a kind of inner fabric that connects, differentiates, and it's not simply structure, it is organization in motion. So as you begin this dissection, I invite you to look carefully, not only at what is visible, but also at what is or seems to be absent. Pay attention to continuity, to relationship, to spaces that are not empty. The Vesalius of the 16th century gave us the fabrica of the body. The Vesaliuses of the 21st century, like John and his companions, Joanna Everson and Karen Kirkles, will give you the stochastic fabric of the body. As the philosopher Ruby 13th century, reminds us, study me as much as you like. You will not know me, for I differ in 100 ways from what you see me to be. Put yourself behind my eyes and see me as I see myself. For I have chosen to dwell in a place you cannot see, which does not mean you cannot think it. Good luck over the coming days. Look deeply and allow yourself to see differently.